They thought I wouldn't find out. They thought they could compile that list behind my back, and I'd just take it, accept it, maybe even cry about it in silence, defeated. But what they didn't know was, I had options, powerful ones. I wasn't always someone who made enemies at work. I was the guy who brought coffee on late nights, who stayed after hours fixing reports, who covered shifts when others had emergencies, the guy who remembered birthdays, who made spreadsheets beautiful, who trained half the team when management was too lazy to. I never expected loyalty in return, but betrayal, especially this kind of betrayal, wasn't something I ever anticipated. It started subtly. I noticed the silences when I walked into rooms, conversations cut short, Slack messages that seemed to be about me but weren't directed at me, meetings I used to be invited to suddenly happening without me. Then one afternoon, my intern, fresh out of college, green and awkward, accidentally forwarded me an attachment that wasn't meant for me. I opened it without thinking. The title stopped me cold. Comprehensive List 190. Reasons. My name should be terminated immediately. It took me a moment to register what I was seeing. At first, I thought it was a joke, a prank. But as I read through the first few entries, my stomach turned. Reason number 1. He takes too much initiative without consulting others. Reason number 2. Thinks he's smarter than everyone else. Reason chapter 17. Fixes other people's mistakes, but makes them feel stupid doing it. Reason 44. Always acts like he's above this job. Reason 63. His success makes others feel insecure. It went on. Not just a few pages. 10 single-spaced pages. Reason after reason. Some petty, some exaggerated, some completely fabricated, but all dripping with bitterness and groupthink. It wasn't just one person's vendetta. It was collective. My whole team. People I'd worked late nights with, traveled with, celebrated wins with. They had come together to tear me down. Some even signed their names at the bottom. I didn't finish reading it that day. I couldn't. I stared at my screen, the edges of my vision blurry. My ears rang, not from sadness, but fury. I had given these people everything. And for what? But then I smiled, because what they didn't know, what they couldn't possibly imagine, was that while they were busy plotting my downfall, I had been quietly building my future. You see, 3 months earlier, I was approached by another company, a fast-growing startup backed by serious investors. They'd heard about some of the work I'd done, innovative workflows, cost-saving initiatives, strategies that increased our output by 30% in under a year. They wanted me, badly, offered me double my salary, more creative freedom, a leadership position. But I told them I needed time. Back then, I felt loyal to my current team. I said I'd consider it after the next quarter. I thought, maybe we can still build something here. Maybe these people are worth it. But the list changed everything. I called the startup the next morning. The CEO picked up personally. She sounded surprised, but excited. Still interested? I asked. Are you kidding me? When can you start? I looked around at the office, at the photos of team outings, the little plaque they gave me last year that read, Team Player of the Year. All of it suddenly felt meaningless. Soon, I said. But I want to do this right. What I didn't tell her was that I had a plan. I didn't storm out that day. I didn't shout or throw things or rage. No. I smiled, attended the daily stand-up, gave polite updates, nodded during passive-aggressive remarks. I kept the list. I saved it to a secure cloud drive. I printed it. I memorized some of the worst ones. I even added annotations, dates, project files, Slack screenshots that contradicted half their claims. Then I did something unexpected. I started helping my critics more than ever. I fixed reports for them. I brought in lunch. I complimented their presentations. I stayed late, again. Not because I had anything to prove, but because I wanted them to become comfortable again. I wanted them to let their guard down. And they did. And while they were comfortable, I met with the legal team at the startup. I negotiated terms that included my own department, my own budget, and the freedom to build my own team, hand-picked. 2 weeks later, I handed in my resignation. My boss blinked in surprise. "You're leaving?" "Yes," I said calmly. "I've accepted another offer." She swallowed. "Well, okay. I mean, we wish you the best." I handed her a sealed envelope. "What's this?" she asked. "Just something I think HR should see," I said. "It includes a comprehensive list. You'll find it familiar." She opened it right there. I watched her face change as she realized what it was. Her eyes scanned the list, line after line, until she saw the signatures at the bottom. This wasn't meant for you." "No," I said, "but it found its way to me. Maybe that's the universe doing me a favor." I turned to leave, but paused. "Oh, and by the way," I added, "I hope you've backed up the systems." I was managing most of those workflows. I'll be taking the automation scripts I wrote. They were under my personal license. Her mouth dropped open. "You can't just..." But I already had. The terms were clear. I didn't owe them a thing. I left the building without fanfare. No goodbyes, no farewell cake, just quiet, deliberate steps into the next chapter. My first day at the startup felt like oxygen, like someone had opened a window I didn't realize had been shut for years. The energy was different. People listened. They wanted ideas. They challenged me, but without resentment. I thrived. Within 6 weeks, I launched a product feature that gained national media attention. Within 3 months, we were onboarding clients that dwarfed the ones I used to chase. And then the messages started coming in. From my old team, one of them, Brian, who once accused me of being too perfect, DM'd me on LinkedIn. "Hey, saw your feature in Forbes. Crazy success. Any chance your new company is hiring?" Then came another, and another. Suddenly the same people who wrote me off were trying to get in. I replied to exactly one message. "Thanks for reaching out," I wrote. "We're looking for people with integrity, vision, and a team-first mindset. Wishing you the best in your search." That was it. Because here's the truth. You can do everything right. You can give your heart to a place. And it still won't be enough for some people. They'll be threatened by your shine, annoyed by your excellence, irritated by your discipline. But that doesn't mean you dim yourself. It means you find better rooms. The list, the 190 reasons, became a symbol for me, not of pain, but of clarity. Every line told me who I wasn't meant to be around. Every criticism whispered, "They're not your people." And now, I keep that list in a frame above my desk, right next to my Employee of the Year plaque from my new job. The one that says, "Reason number 1, because you never stopped believing in your own worth."